So I was playing Anakin the other day, and I was thinking how good it would have been to go back and play original Anakin, the one that dealt a bunch of damage with his heroic might, not even retribution, and like 500, 400 damage with retro. And I was thinking how good it would have been to still have it. And then I was thinking, what if we still currently had the first patch Anakin, like the way he came out, we still had him to this day. They never nerfed him, patched, whatever. Now I think we would still be fine. Obviously he'd be way better, but I think we'd be fine. Here's why, because just about 2 or 3 days after he came out, and I would say even the first day after a couple hours of playing, a lot of people knew how to get around Anakin. You knew that if you got pulled, then you know you're gonna get heroic might, and you know you're gonna get passion strike, which back then would actually knock you down again. So people were playing very defense, and then if they could get through that pull, you got a pretty good chance of surviving. Then anytime they saw Anakin doing heroic might, most people were hitting because they still didn't know that if you hit him enough times, you'd literally get one shot or just dealt a bunch of damage. But people got used to it eventually, and I was seeing some people not hitting me, so I was like, some people smartened up. And even though Anakin was still the most powerful hero and villain, like out of everyone, against the right people, you could not use Anakin all that well. Obviously he was still goated, he was still amazing, his saber damage was still way higher than it currently is, so you're still gonna have all those advantages. But to today's world, 90% of the people who have been playing for at least a year will know how to counter Anakin. Even though he deals 5 billion damage, you'll know how to get around him. And on 4v4s and stuff, even though people will get to know how to get around him, he'd still be OP, and here's why. For example, let's say there's a boss gun in the team and puts bombs. Plain example, right? Everybody knows this, you know where I'm getting to. Sure, put the Anakin there, hold heroic might, and that's it, right? Yeah, that's it. You do a bunch of damage. If you're lucky, you might dodge in the right time if you're on the opposite team, but still, apart from that, Anakin wouldn't have been all that great. Now, if you know how to use him well against noobs and stuff, obviously he'll be great. But like any other really good character, once you know how to actually counter them, or just play really good defense against them, it'll be hard, it won't be easy, but they're not as efficient. As soon as you let go of your defense a little bit, or you slack off and you start hitting them when you're not supposed to hit them, that's when they can do a lot of damage, where in Anakin's case, your heroic might will literally one-shot them. So yeah, tell me what you think. What if we still had retribution, like not retribution, but Anakin from the number one patch Anakin, or release Anakin, original Anakin, whatever you want to call him. What if we still had him today? Everybody else would have been patched, Vader would have still been patched, whatever updates we still have to this day would have happened, but Anakin would have stayed the same. How do you think the Battlefront 2 world would be? That's what I think. I think for the most part, on your normal pubs or whatever, I think that's what people call them. I still don't know what it means. I think it means just normal H3V. So for those normal H3V games, Anakin's going to be like an easy win. As soon as you see him on the other team with like at least a fin, instant win, because Anakin's just OP as hell. But against people who know how to use him, I could see the Anakin specifically getting frustrated, because instead of going in and doing 500 damage, you're going to go in and do 100, because you know what? People have learned a couple tricks against you. So that's what I think would have happened. Tell me what you think.